Hi, I'm Juliet Walls, and I'm just going to give you a quick online tutorial of the 1 hour workshop that I completed with my staff members. First, I wanted to go ahead and show you first the lesson plan that was created so we all have an idea. So first, here we go. We have our learning objectives along with our essential questions, our technology standards that are being met with the workshop that was done, as well as the agenda and materials that were needed for this particular site. So there are a couple of things that I did with this particular workshop so that participants would be able to have future access to the materials. And one of the first things that I did was I also created the online tool was done through um, Google Sites. So let me go through the lesson plan and click on that link for you guys. So here we go. Here is the Google Sites that I created for the workshop. The workshop focused on three aspects of the Google platform that our district has recently purchased for us to use along with our students. So the focus is on Google Drive, Classroom, and Docs. And as you can see, I have a few subpages here where participants can go to the Drive and be able to kind of give just a basics of what the Google Drive is all about. Underneath Google Drive, what I did as part of the handouts, I actually embedded the handouts for Google Drive within this Google site. A more closer up look of this particular document, which was our Google how-to, is here. So I simply had a lot of screenshots where I created a tutorial for participants to be able to view and go back to be able to implement this in their own class as a reminder. So they'll have access through the handouts as well as through the Google Sites, as well as the Google Classroom that I created, in which all participants had to actually be able to join. And this is actually where they were able to access right here the survey after the workshop was created. Speaking of that, here is the survey that was created, goes along with the requirements of the rubric. Very, very easy, done through Google Forms. Since this workshop was created through Google applications, I figured utilizing Google Forms and any other Google applications would be best as it syncs with each other. Going back to our site so we can kind of keep track. So we've gone over Drive, and then the other aspect that we focused on was the classroom. Now, this was a major portion of it, so it took a little bit more involvement of creating handouts for this particular one. I decided to break this down into showing people how to be able to sign in. And here we've got screenshots of our district's portal in which everyone has access to. And if you click on this link, what it will do is it's going to bring you to this page where it's going to redirect you and it's going to be able to sign in. But as you can see, you won't be able to see the sign in log because I'm already signed into my computer over here. Therefore, you'll see that. But for the most part, once this is clicked, participants within Clayton County can easily click on that and use their credentials. I also included a screenshot of how you could get to the classroom. Some of the frustrations from some of our participants was just the basics of how to get it because it wasn't being used consistently. So this is a way for participants to always use this to go back and use. So going back to our classroom and our subpages, what I did was I also created another handout for creating a class, which I embedded into the site. If you want to take a closer look at this in our handout, let's see which one it was. I think it's this one. Oops, I didn't download. Let me go back to my drive and be able to find that classwork tab. Let's see where I have this. Right here, creating a Google Classroom. So here, once again, this is embedded in the Google Sites, but also it was a handout that they have access to as well. So once they've created, I have some sub pages within there. It talks about the stream about these three tabs that you see here, the stream, classwork, and people. I thought it best to be able to separate the three so that no one's confused. And within each of them, all I did was embed each of the handouts that we used to show people how to use the stream, classwork. Here's our stream handout that I created, along with our people tab, so that people have reference and know how to do that, along with our classwork. And I see I need to pull that up as well. Our classwork tab, all of these handouts have been done through Google Drive, so participants have access to it through our site again, through our classroom, which we talked about, as well as a handmade one. But here's our classwork handout that was also created for participants and embedded within the site. So also, I created a settings handout as a way for participants, once again, to use this to manage their classroom much easier. They've had a handout. It's embedded within the site along into our Google Classroom that participants have access to as well here. And then for docs, same thing that I did was I created a handout showing participants how to create a doc and also how to use the Explore feature that's within those docs. Let's see if I have this pulled up. All these tabs and I can't be able to see. Settings, work, let's go here where we have got, here we go, settings gear. And once again, our settings gear as well. So as you can see, our online tool that was used was our Google Sites, along with Haney's Google Classroom for participants to be able to sign in. So once again, our lesson plan and our agenda is here. And then the other aspect I wanted to show you was also the narrative in which was completed to show the results. What I did was I went through our Google application. Let me go ahead and edit, and you can kind of see the responses. So you can see that there were 29 responses, and here are the results. As you can see, I could easily export it through an Excel sheet, but I prefer bar graphs here. And then let me pull up the narrative so that you are aware of this. It's up here. Here we go. And just a little bit about the background of when it was done. Once again, you see the graphs that were pulled out from the Google form. I just took the data from there and put it into the narrative, as you can see here. So other than that, I thought that this workshop was a great way to include the platform that the district has purchased for us, a way to integrate it, the basics within each of our classrooms, and I will continue to give feedback to participants that come to me with other needed questions. Thank you so much.